works.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, why am I not doing the intro? I'm stalling.
It happens.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Well-Behaved Women. I'm one of your hosts, Hannah, and I'm here with...
I'm Lauren. What's
Lauren.
up?
And we are a podcast that every week we take a deep dive into the life of a woman from history, good or bad. And Lauren has all the details, and yet I do not.
Yeah.
And
that's the deal.
That's our deal.
Do you want to do an intro song?
Intro song.
Let's do it.
Woo!
And then we'll talk about bad bitches, okay?
Bad bitch.
A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I feel no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I can go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl. I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras.
I brought my own hammer.
Pieces on those little
We've
kid
talked about
jump
this
ropes.
before. What we need is a skip it.
Oh my god, yes, skip it. Ankle death. Yes. Let's tear up our
the
ankles.
ones with padding around the ankle now, but I guess you're talking about
Middle-aged ankle death.
Yeah. Oh, so death.
No, that's capitalism.
No. In this world, you skip it or you die. Sorry, don't laugh.
Yeah.
that's how I would run.
That's how you do it.
That's how I run hell. It's a bunch of men with skip-its, and if they fuck up and hit each
no
other...
sense of rhythm. No sense of rhythm.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
That's how 90s girls learned how to dance, basically. That's how they learned how to keep a beat, was jumping rope and playing skip it.
Yeah,
you had to get into the rhythm of like where your feet were going at a certain moment.
Yeah.
I know that's where
Kids
I got
today,
my beat.
I wonder if they do technically still have access to skip-its. They have like a new version now, but
Do they really?
I think so. I've
I
seen
thought
it.
they got recalled at some point.
I'm sure they did. It was like having a wrecking ball moving at like 30 miles an hour towards bone ankles.
Around your feet.
Teeny tiny children ankles.
And the only thing that kept it around you was a flimsy piece of plastic that would bend if your skip it went too fast.
Yeah, if you watched your friends, you're like, whoa, she's pulling G's.
I was that friend.
You were the G friend.
I was the G friend. I was the one I could get it up.
That sounds really bad. Don't say G
I
friend.
could keep it up off of the ground, and I would that ring would just stretch.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
but
no, I
it
wasn't
really
that friend.
hurt when I fucked up.
Of course.
Because then it would catch me around the ankle. The thing would come around,
And it would hit both ankles.
Yeah.
It would hit both ankles.
Yeah, it was
yeah, you fucked yourself up. Anyway, welcome. Thanks again for listening to Just Girly Memories with Hannah and Lauren.
It's a podcast for girls, by girls,
about
girls,
women. Yeah.
We can talk about skip-its all the fuck we want.
If that's what, okay, hold on.
Although according to Facebook, our demographic is men.
Well, now they're going to learn. You want to understand women, men?
Don't
listen
skip
to
it.
fucking Joe Rogan, okay? Or who's the dude those toxic men that like...
No, Joe Rogan's about it,
Well, he's one of them, but there's another
Andrew
one.
Tate?
That's the one I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Women will tell you. We've been telling you for years, but you just
Did you
haven't
see that
listened.
thing going around a few days ago that was like, it's well known that a clitoris doesn't exist?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, it was terrible. Somebody was like, it's well known that a female clitoris doesn't exist, and the only time that oral ever happens is the symbolical
Maybe
sucking of a woman's dick.
I kind of I think I've seen somebody talking about it where somebody was going off
It was
about
a screenshot
like
of
how
a screenshot
women
of a screenshot.
don't have orgasms.
That's
It was like just only when they're about to have like for kid making.
Oh no, not that. That's
Something-
a whole
okay,
different.
well-
That's a whole other misconception.
Yeah.
Men.
You know what's
Women
fun?
both have clitorises and are able to have really, really strong orgasms.
Yeah.
Like if you let them
Okay.
know what you're doing,
Well, here,
they'll
two
react.
things. Number one, historically, especially in the Tudor times, they thought that making sure a woman has an orgasm is more likely to make sure they conceive.
Yeah,
so
that's
that was a
essential.
huge thing, was make her happy and you'll have kids. So that's completely flipped around.
why do you think people were having kids so often?
Yeah. Because she kept coming back.
She kept coming.
Because she's like, and she kept coming. Second thing is, our clits are basically, they have the exact same amount of nerve endings as an entire penis. Mm-hmm. So, we have orgasms. Anyway.
Yeah.
Men don't know shit about this. And sometimes we don't even know.
Actually, the best times are the ones where we don't know at the end. We're just like little shells and jelly of a human being.
Oh, husks is what I call it. Or husks.
A post-orgasm husk. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men and women both feel it. You
Yes.
just see it on a man more because they just really go.
It takes more orgasms for women to get to that point.
Yeah, we can handle it.
Well, yeah.
It's like how men always make fun of us for not being able to handle our liquor. Well, you can't handle your orgasms.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing is that, like, for women, the first orgasm is the hardest to have, right? You're having to relax yourself. You're having to warm up. This is, you're getting back on the horse, so to speak, right? And it's takes a little while for you to get to that first one. But then once you're there, it's really easy to have a bunch more. So if you can get your girlfriend to have one orgasm, you can get them to have 50.
If you can just hold on.
If you can just be patient.
Hold out. It will be worth it.
Delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And now that we've had our sex advice corner,
I feel like that goes on the Patreon.
Do we want to do an actual
I think an episode is necessary now. Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy. Whoops. Whoopsie poopsie. We were talking about we're here to help and the dollop. Obviously, we got to give Garrett his dues. Gareth his dues. Why did I call him Garrett?
Oh, you just call him Gary, but he won't like that. No.
Gareth. That's his name.
What about
his
Garrett?
name is Gareth. On this year in history.
On this year in history. I liked that one.
I do too. That was a very Monty Python one.
Thank you.
That was good. Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but I'm so glad it's here.
Loving it. The ground was invented. The ground was invented.
Earth happened.
Ground is broken for the Suez Canal in Egypt.
Okay.
A Tale of Two Cities is published by Dickens.
Oh, this should tell me something.
Mm-hmm. An amateur astronomer named Edmond Modeste Lescarbot claimed to have observed a planet even closer to the sun than Mercury. This purported planet was later named Vulcan.
I feel like I don't know about that planet.
And then the shooting of a pig in some islands off the coast of Washington leads to the Pig War between the Americans and the British.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this war.
Oh my God. The San Juan Islands up in in the Puget Sound between Washington and Vancouver.
I'm going to check that out.
Pig War.
Pig War. You're just like,
War.
Boom. Pig War.
It's a really weird story.
Okay. So the things that are sticking out to me, Dickinson publishing A Tale of Two Cities. Mm-hmm. And then Suez Canal. I'm going to guess we're in the 1860s.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a year?
Going to guess 1862. How bad am I?
Not bad at all.
Okay, so
you were super close. Wow. It's 1859.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I still went, damn it, I went 1862 because I thought, I'm going to Price is Right it and get so close. And I just was a little over.
I mean, that happens all the time in Price is Right.
It does.
You know what we could call it? We could call it inflation and just be like, you're fine.
Fun Price is Right fact. My mom went to a taping of the show and she had the little sticker that says Tracy. She still has it in our family memorabilia stuff. She didn't get to run down, but she did go dun 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 dun. I love that show.
That's
anyway,
cute.
Eventually, someday, if we ever if we ever do a live show, I am getting a Bob Barker mic.
Okay.
Tiny.
One of those teeny,
real
skinny, tall ones.
Where I can just go, ha ha. Thanks, folks. Anyway,
Who was it?
episode.
Karen Kilgariff, wanted one of those Madonna, over the ear microphones for the longest time. And I think at one point they gave her one at a little live show and she was so excited about it.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. So great. Okay, so guys, again, an episode. We're at 1859. 1859.
Paul and Berit Storseth lived in Selbu, Norway.
Selbu. I like that name.
And together they had 8 children.
What were their names?
Paul and Berit Storseth.
Barrett.
Mm-hmm. The youngest was a girl named Brunhild. In fact, it was Brunhild, Paul's daughter, Storseth.
I do know, your last name is your father's first name, followed by son or daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So our family was Eric's son. Somewhere along the lines. I don't know. Paul's daughter? Brunhild, Paul's daughter. I do not know the accent.
She was born on November 11th, 1859.
November 11th. Don't know anything about it. 11/11.
What astrological sign is she?
She would be a Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. Brunhild was not satisfied with the life of Norway.
She was a Swedish scorpion.
A Norwegian Scorpio.
No, sorry, yes, Norwegian scorpion.
Scorpio,
but I'm going to say scorpion.
I don't think they make that noise.
I don't know. How am I supposed to?
You know what? That's a good noise. That's a good little audio for the stabbing of one of their little venom. Yeah, their little strikes. I get it.
But it's an icicle.
I get it.
But it's an icicle.
She was not satisfied with life in Norway, and she had big dreams of going to the U.S.
It's too cold.
The Storseth lived on a farm like most everyone in Norway at that point.
Yeah, big farming.
When she was 14, she became a milkmaid and worked for neighboring farms to save some money.
Okay, well, when you say milkmaid...
she's running cattle and she's milking cows.
Got that adorable dress on.
Yep.
She got...
with the braids and the things. And she's a big farm girl, in this dress and with the braids and the jugs. And the tits in the middle. There we go. Yep.
I'm just saying, it just brings up the stereotype that American beer companies have made us think.
The stereotype, because she could do this. She was at least 5'7", possibly 5'9".
That's pretty tall.
And when she was an adult, she was around 250 pounds.
She's pure muscle?
Heft. Yeah, she's a big girl.
She's got muscle. Because I'm just telling you, I'm 5'9". I'm 145 pounds.
Put 100 on you.
I can't.
And make it from...
I can't imagine.
Make it from squeezing tits and chucking cows.
Cow tits, people.
And herding
she's not
cattle.
Going around the town going...
No, she's literally a cowgirl and a fucking milk... I mean, she's
got farmers fucking physical...
She's a farmer.
Strength. She is a farmer.
Yeah.
She could bench press all of us.
So there is an unverified story.
Okay.
About this girl when she was 18. I want to give you the option of whether we do unverified stories or not.
Oh, we got to do unverified stories. Okay. Because we got to know, verified, here are the facts, but then here's some of the rumors.
So this is a rumor. We
Rumor
don't
has
have
it.
proof of this, so I'm going to be very
Rumor has it. Sorry.
Love that. Ooh. Wait, no, that's a different one.
No, that was... Well, is that
that's a different one.
Oh. It's been a while.
No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because rumor has it.
There it is. Rumor has it. Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Okay. Sorry, guys. A little interlude there.
I heart Adele.
I know, me too.
All for, Tay-Tay. I've reluctantly become a fan of Taylor Swift over the years.
I have.
I was never a huge Swiftie, but now I'm you know what?
Neither
I've
was
listened
I.
to enough of her music.
I think it was around Reputation. I was like, oh, fuck. That made me really take notice, even though I liked her album right before Red. I liked Red, and I liked 1989, but I just didn't... I didn't follow
As her discography has gone on, and I have reluctantly and casually listened to different things of hers, I've become okay, I can understand why this is a thing.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
No, I respect. And I also respect Beyonce, too, for the same reason.
Yeah.
For the same reason. She showed me why she's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact of the day, since we already mentioned Taylor Swift, I saw an article that says she is distantly, but like pretty close. No, she's like a 7th cousin of Emily Dickinson.
Cool.
Doesn't that make sense?
I mean,
Like with her songwriting and like storytelling abilities,
but I
makes
don't
sense?
think that kind of talent runs through a family. Like, I don't think that that's like something that's going to go through that kind of a bloodline.
I don't know.
But I do understand, like, maybe if she kind of grew up knowing that was a relative of hers, and
She
knowing,
did not know.
Yeah, see, like,
But she was a fan.
okay, so I would say, like, if she grew up in appreciating the poetry and that kind of thing,
But,
I'm
like,
sure
what a
that was
coincidence.
a form of inspiration. But the fact that,
But a
like,
coincidence.
yeah, you learn later
Fun
that's kind of fun.
coincidence. I love
That's
these little
pretty fun.
things.
Yeah,
But rumor has it about Brunhild. Brunhild, thank you.
Brunhild.
And
It's
last name?
Bryn, but I want to say
Brynhild.
Brynhild.
Because I knew somebody named Brunel. Brynhild. Yeah, so Brynhild, I guess.
Yeah, Brynhild.
What was her last name?
Paul's daughter Storsif.
Thank you. Okay, Paul's daughter Storsif. Where's that?
So when Brunhild was 18, she was pregnant.
Rumor has it? Or
Rumor
actually,
has it.
Okay, rumor has it she was pregnant.
We don't know who the father was. We don't know what that story was, but she was pregnant. And she was at a dance with some friends, but while she was there, a man attacked her.
Oh.
And he kicked her in the abdomen.
Oh.
The man was from an important family, so the authorities just never pressed the matter. They wasn't charged or anything like that.
Oh.
Brunhild had a miscarriage, and she was like never the same after that.
This
It changed
potentially
her.
could be true because, like, if it was a powerful family that found out that she had been fooling around and she's like just a milkmaid, then maybe they kept it out of everything. And maybe this isn't a rumor. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Well, and rumor has it that the man, quote, a short time later, quote, died of what people said was stomach cancer.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say of a missing dick.
When Brunhild was 22, she had enough money saved to move to the U.S.
Good job.
Woohoo!
Good on you. Get the fuck. Well, don't come. Well, okay. It was
No.
good then, but not now.
Exactly.
You don't want to come here now.
If I heard someone was getting the fuck out of the U.S., I'd be like, woohoo!
Yeah, now I'd be like, go.
You go!
We'll hopefully see you there.
Save a spot for me, please.
Just leave a couch around for me to sleep on.
Oh, God. Yeah, if you listen to us in Europe, I want to move there.
Yeah. Just tell us it's possible.
Things are real bad here,
Let
guys.
us know if it's possible.
It's rough. So when she got there, it was 1881.
Okay. Oh. Right. Very, very close to the same time our Swedish side came over.
Yeah. somewhere
Okay,
around
fun.
there.
Fun.
When she was processed through New York City, she changed her name to match her new American lifestyle.
Okay,
TM.
girl.
Trademark. New
What you
American
got?
lifestyle.
Rebrand.
Bella Peterson.
Oh, excellent job. And she says, like, fuck my dad, Paul.
It was like, whatever.
Now I'm changing your name. It's
Exactly.
Peter.
So once Bella had been processed, she continued on to Chicago, where her older sister
Hey.
Nellie had landed years earlier and was married.
Okay. And you said sister Nellie.
Nellie.
Just getting all the names right.
She lived with Nellie and her brother-in-law for a while, and she worked as a domestic servant for a while before getting a job at a butcher shop.
Oh, that's that. She knows what she's doing. She's worked at a farm. She knows about meat processing. I'm assuming. Okay.
Nellie said of her sister, quote, "It seemed Bella would do anything for money. I never saw such a money-mad person in my life." Unquote.
I don't know if I want to be cheering Bella on anymore. It's just immediately I'm like, red flag. She went to the butcher shop. Red flag. She changed her name, which I guess, never mind. That's not a red flag. But red flag. She's money hungry and will do anything. Red flag, eyebrow raise.
So Bella began making a living cutting up the animal carcasses for sale at little butcher shops. And she met a man a couple years in named Mads Albert Sorensen.
Mads Albert Sorensen. What? Okay, just randomly rings a bell, but no, I'm not super certain, so we'll keep going.
In 1884, they tied the knot.
Congrats.
Congrats, yeah.
Okay.
So he was another Norwegian American,
Okay.
like Bella.
All right,
And
makes sense.
together they moved to a small home in Chicago,
Okay.
just in one of the suburbs called Austin.
I should know that.
Bella was, quote, prone to fits of rage, followed
no.
by an extreme calm and quiet.
Remind me the injury that made her. Oh, yeah. The rumor has it that she got kicked in the abdomen and she was never the same. Sounds more like she got kicked in the head.
Maybe.
Okay, so she has fits of rage.
And then she'll get really calm and really quiet.
That's scary. I don't like that.
It happens, though.
That turn in an argument where they get real quiet scares me.
I've seen it a lot in bipolar people.
It kind
where
of sounds...
It sounds like a manic and then a very cut to, like, anger.
Right.
Yeah.
And not that we're, like, scientists or that we are professionals, but, like, it does seem very mood swing.
Yes.
Very big mood swings.
From my experience with my friends.
Oh, okay. So you do have some
A
experience.
little bit, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I do not.
From these types of behaviors, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's never a normal thing. It's never something like a mentally healthy person is doing.
Right.
Quote, neighbors described the 200-pound Bella
Oh,
as
gosh, I forgot she's
a,
200 pounds.
quote, rugged woman who was
Rugged.
also incredibly strong.
Yes.
One man who helped her move in, later claimed that he saw her lift a 300-pound piano all by herself.
Whoa.
I like music at home, she supposedly said by way of explanation.
I like music at home. I
And
can't.
literally
Oh my
it's
God. This
spelled
is like
A-Y, like I like music at
oh
home.
God, we're trying so hard to have an accent. I can't. I don't know what I sound like.
You can hear yourself.
I mean, but like, what accent am I like? I know what I want to sound like, but how do I make my mouth do it? I need now. We're practicing with our mouth.
Yeah, you got to learn how to move your mouth.
I do.
The right
I
way.
feel like I need to watch some more of those videos.
Soon after moving into the home, it tragically burned down. The couple was devastated, but they had an insurance policy that paid out in cases of fire. With the money that they were paid, Mads had the bright idea to open up a candy shop. They opened that up 2 years after getting married.
So they invented Swedish fish.
Norwegian.
You guys have to see the look on my face. Yeah, Norwegian. What isn't there? Norwegian candies do have a lot of like salt in them too.
Apparently they love licorice.
I do love licorice, which actually is my mom and I and that side of the family. We love black licorice.
Yeah, I think it's specifically black licorice. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
So Mads had the bright idea to open up a candy shop. And they opened 2 years after getting married.
Licorice. There's different kinds.
I know. Okay, I can deal with like maybe the strawberry like peel Twizzlers, but that's as close as I can get.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like anything closer to licorice
I
than
gotta
that.
try Australian licorice, the soft stuff that's like mango.
See, I can like the
Peach.
flavor, the other flavor ones are fine.
Yeah.
I can't do the
Not
anise
everyone's
flavor.
as weird as we.
And I also can't do like red vines. That's too much.
I have a whole bag upstairs.
God. Are you a red vine family?
My mom and I are red vine people. We love any kind of licorice.
You guys are funny.
You just give us. I think it's a texture.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
Bella
they
had,
opened a candy shop.
They opened a candy shop. Now Bella.
They opened a candy shop. Done. I couldn't help it.
Ba-ba-ba-dum-bum-bum.
Sorry, guys. We're musical today.
So Bella had a soft spot for children.
Okay.
No one ever saw her look pregnant in any way.
Okay.
Just sometimes they'd see Belle,
Yeah.
and the next time they saw her, maybe a couple months later, she'd just like have a baby. And maybe it was a couple months old, maybe it was a couple years old. Maybe it was a little
no.
young girl, whatever. But
Red
she just showed up with kids and she called them hers.
Red flag.
There was also rumors that like they were foster children, basically like other mothers couldn't take care of their kids, and so they gave them to her to take care of.
I'm going to remember this, but I have a feeling that is not the case.
Well, and reports vary wildly on how she actually obtained these children, like the amount of voluntary like giving up the child.
Interesting.
She was also rumored that she took in the kids that moms didn't want, or that she'd maybe ensure that the moms didn't want their babies by pressuring them in other ways.
Rude.
And I don't really think this was like the Sorensens that did this. I think it was just Bella. So Mads would just come home from work one day and
she
Bella
just
would
has
have
a
like
kid?
another kid. Yeah. Like more than one.
Have you seen those videos on TikTok? I imagine it's like that, where she comes home, there's like a little box.
With a little puppy, but instead it's a child.
Yeah. That's what she's doing to him.
He comes home. No, it's what it is he comes home and he's like, honey, I'm home. And she's got dinner on the table. And then there's like an extra place setting. And she, a complete stranger child kind of looks up and is like, hello, Fasa. Just like, what the fuck? Again? Bella, again?
Where'd this one come from? Can't tell you. Don't ask.
The original don't ask, don't tell policy.
Yeah. Don't ask, and you don't say shit.
Mama is with me no longer.
Shh. Your name is Timmy. Yeah, this is very suspicious, and I do not... I am going to wait until you tell me more, but I am fairly certain I know where this is going.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious, but she is.
Suspicious.
But she's suspicious. Yep, she's suspicious. Damn,
Super
she's suspicious.
I don't want to be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Or suspicious.
I cannot believe those two were not related in real life.
I know.
They were such perfect siblings. Oh my goodness.
I love Jenny Slate so much. She has a new stand-up special.
She's the one that did way back in the day.
Yeah.
Marcel the Shell.
She did. Yeah.
With no shoes, with shoes on.
Yeah, like the
Marcel
original.
Shell. Yeah, the original one.
Marcel the Shell, which I did not know until like probably I think a few years ago.
Oh my god, it was so good.
She's so good. She's
so
great.
silly.
She does an amazing Drunk History episode too.
Yeah, she does. She has a lot of like good kind of side spots. She also, I love her in Big Head. What the fuck?
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. Thank you.
Yeah, but she's not on the show anymore.
I haven't seen it in a couple years.
Oh, you gotta. It's
Did it
still,
get good?
It's still good.
Did it get complicated?
Not really complicated, but it did kind of like die down a bit. I think that first season or two were just so
magical,
very shocking. Like there wasn't a show like it at that moment.
Oh yeah. And now it's
and
one
there still
of
isn't
dozens of irreverent shows that are just poke fun at everything now.
Well, I still think it stands out on its own because it's tackling a really awkward topic.
Yeah.
But no, Jenny Slate, amazing.
Do you want to talk about Bella?
Yeah, we got to get back to Bella.
Bella and her
we're
kids?
in weeds.
So Mads was not super happy with his marriage with Bella. Their marriage was not perfect. Her wild mood swings and fits of rage really just strained that relationship.
As it would.
Mads talked to his friends about leaving.
I bet. I would too.
He wanted out of the marriage. He wanted to travel. He just wanted away.
Right.
But Bella wasn't about that. She believed in like the till death do us part kind of thing. The candy store was not successful. And a short time after it opened up, it burned down in a fire.
Again,
Totally
fire.
accidentally. Kind of strange.
Is it Bella?
Also, it had Mads and some of the kids inside.
Oh, shit.
They weren't seriously harmed, but the store was completely ruined. But luckily, the Sorensens had insurance.
Okay.
Now, I looked up house fires in the late 19th century, and it seems that the consensus is Victorian-style homes just burned. They caught fire, they blew up,
shitty
it
wiring.
happened. It was a combination of shitty wiring, of the fuels used, the soot that came along with using coal, and that kind of
Probably
coated
a lot
the
of
homes.
flammable materials in the building.
It made them they made flammable things more inflammable.
Don't mention all the arsenic in the house.
So it wasn't super uncommon.
Yeah.
So they got another insurance payout,
Interesting.
and this one allowed them to buy a brand new home.
Interesting.
Over the next 16 years, she would either birth or gain possession of 4 little girls.
Okay.
2 of these babies died from the same cause at different times.
Is it a house fire?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Caroline died in 1896,
Oh.
and then Alex died in 1898.
Okay.
They had acute colitis, or inflammation of the large intestine.
Okay.
It
That's
came-
something that definitely happened.
It came with nausea, fever, diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and pain.
And probably eating some form of lead, I'm sure.
Both of these girls, luckily, also had insurance policies out on them. Luckily.
Bitch.
Belle and Mads got a small payout for the 2 dead little girls.
God, that's just horrible.
They also adopted an older girl, so when the 1900 census happened, the Sorensen family was a family of 5. Mads, Bella, Myrtle A, Lucy B, and a girl named Morgan Couch, who was also known as Jenny Olsen.
Morgan Couch.
Yep, Morgan Couch. But we're going to call her
Interesting.
Jenny.
Okay,
Jenny. So,
Because Jenny is definitely short for Morgan.
and the last name is different too. Like, I don't understand it.
All right.
Yeah, it's a whole
I will
thing.
say, looking through documents,
None of it makes sense.
None of it does. All right.
All right, so we got Mads,
Bella.
Myrtle A, Lucy B, and Jenny Olsen.
God, it's like a little
Weird little family.
little band.
Little band,
We got Myrtle A and Lucy B. Back up on keys.
And the Sorensen Olsen's daughters. Now, Mads had a life insurance policy out, as you do.
Of course.
He had some heart problems, and he wanted to make sure that his family was taken care of if that went south.
Okay.
And he was seeing a doctor for treatments. His family knew to keep an eye out for certain things and let him rest when he needed all
bland
of that.
chicken,
That kind of stuff, yeah. Bella wisely said that the insurance policy he had wasn't enough to keep the house going if he, by some tragic accident, died and left her as a widowed mother of 3. So,
Bella.
in July of 1900, he decided to make sure his family was safe. He increased his policy. It wasn't as simple as upgrading. He had to buy a new policy and let the old one lapse and not pay the premiums. But the old one had an expiration date, and that very last day was also the only day that the new one was in effect. Basically, there was one day right before, so that instead of having an uncovered day, he just had one day where he was covered by both.
Yeah.
Just lest he have an uninsured time in some emergency.
Coincidentally, I have a feeling.
On July 30th, Mads came home with a headache.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to hide my smile so much, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I already know what's going to happen.
Bella gave him quinine powder, which is used as an anti-malarial and for leg cramps. He went to bed, and a short while later, Nellie, Bella's sister, who was visiting the Sorensens, she went in to check on him. Mads was dead.
So it's
He
either
did.
quinine did it or whatever caused his headache, which maybe she was dosing some food. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
The sisters were mortified. They
are
called the authorities
embarrassed?
right away to take the body.
When you say mortified,
They were horrified by seeing a dead
okay.
body. Oh no!
I don't know why
This is
mortified.
terrible. He's dead.
I don't know why I always think of it as being so embarrassed you could die.
I mean, usually I think that's what it is, unless it I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Words are words in the English language, and we don't know how to use them.
So they called the authorities to take away the body, and an autopsy was performed to check on what the dead man died of.
Obviously, yeah.
The cause of death was a cerebral hemorrhage or heart failure. One of the two. The cause of death was a little suspicious, and neighbors gossiped and rumors abound about what exactly did happen.
Right.
The timing was just way too specific.
Because this was coincidentally when both policies were active?
Yep.
God. Wow.
Dr. Charles Jones performed the autopsy, and as mentioned earlier, Mads was being treated for his heart problems, but Jones insisted that the symptoms of the body looked closer to prussic acid poisoning.
Really?
The symptoms of acute poisoning range from headaches, shortness of breath, dizziness, and convulsions to cyanosis, coma, and death. But since there were reasons for the death that looked natural and he had a pre-existing condition, Mads' death was ruled an accident, and both the life insurance policies paid out.
God, what? How lucky for the family. Or just maybe Bella.
So she walked away with about $5,000, which would be about $185,000 in today's.
Oh shit, that's a pretty good policy.
Yeah.
Or policies.
Set of policies, yeah.
Yeah.
When Mads was buried and the payout completed, Bella became cold to her daughters.
Oh.
Following Mads' death, Bella started thinking about moving on.
Oh, these poor girls are going to get left behind.
No, she takes him. So,
Well, I mean, but emotionally.
yeah, a little bit, but they're still there. It's not like emotional closeness is really what the family is about back at this point. It's really more about survival and feeding
children
you until
still
the
need
bare
it.
minimum of when you can support yourself and get the fuck out.
I mean, I will say they did think of children as just small adults.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hence why they could be, I was, the jobs they would make kids do, some of them were, they would make really fairly young elementary age kids climb under active, turned on machinery
I've
to
heard
grab
this a
fluffs
million
of
times.
cottons.
Yeah, and then
I
they get
did not know
scalped
that.
by the weaving machines get caught catching their
Oh
hair.
my God.
And then the moms get pulled from their spots in the line to be told that their child is scalped and probably maimed for fucking life. And by the way, we got to charge you for the time that you were off the line so that we could tell you
It
this.
was a very tough time. This is a rough time.
That's why unions exist.
True.
OSHA regulations are written in blood.
That's true.
Just every chance I'm going to get to remind everyone of that. They're written in blood.
And it is true as always.
All right. So she was, a single widowed mother of 3, and it would be way easier to take care of her family if she could find a good husband to provide for them.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
With that in mind, she took her daughters to Wisconsin with her and started looking for a husband.
She was a milkmaid.
So she got in touch.
Dairyland.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
So she got in touch and started courting a man named Peter Fredrickson. Peter was initially enthusiastic about the relationship.
Initially.
I imagine she was probably really great in bed. And I know that seems like a throwaway comment, but I'm just going to break a little with our tradition of a blind audience and say just maybe keep that little idea
Pin it
in
up.
the back, little ponderance in the back of your brain.
Just pin it up.
As we go through this episode, I'm pretty sure she just must have been fucking dynamite in bed.
She had WAP energy.
She was a fucking 250-pound giant, and these men would... I get it.
I'm very intrigued. She must have also been very charismatic.
Probably.
You think?
Yeah.
Very charming.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so in short order, Bella convinced Peter to change around his entire life.
For that pussy.
For that pussy. Mm-hmm. Bella had this idea of moving to Indiana as a family. So in preparation for that move, Peter sold his home and his property, and he increased his life insurance policy.
Oh, no.
They got engaged, and they were planning a wedding.
Of course.
But the Fredrickson family all told Peter that he should, quote, think twice, quote, before marrying this specific woman.
Oh, they've heard about her?
No, just had a feeling.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
They were like,
They caught a
I don't know what
vibe.
it is, but I think you probably maybe needed to think twice.
Yeah, just wait a little longer.
Just a little bit longer.
Just keep thinking. Give it another day.
Yep.
And then another day. And then give it another 5,000 days. 15 years. Let's go.
Eventually, after he'd already lost his property, he decided against marrying Bella.
Good job.
He called it off, and Bella was heartbroken.
I'm sorry, girl, but you sketch.
She was so heartbroken, she went to Minnesota to visit her cousins and took all of her stuff and all of her kids with her.
Okay.
So while she was in Minnesota, Bella, who by this time was going by the shorter Belle, got reacquainted with a fellow butcher and recent widower, Peter Gunness. Well, according to Peter's family, Belle was not a good influence, but he didn't really have the power to turn her down.
No.
And they
she
said-
got him by that stick.
Yep. By that disco stick.
Disco stick. Love it.
They said her influence, quote, was too great for us to prevail, unquote. Peter had 2 daughters of his own, and in 1902, the two got married. He had lost his wife. She'd lost her husband. They both liked to do butcher things.
They both like to do butcher.
It was a match
You
made in heaven.
I butcher.
You butcher.
Let's
We're
take. I got a hog
butchers.
in the back if you want to
I
take a
think
whack
that was
at
actually
it.
how they like knew each other from before.
Oh,
like they'd already
they
met.
ran in the same butcher circles.
I don't know.
Maybe a job.
But everyone said like she got reacquainted with him.
Okay.
Which meant that somehow she knew him from before, and I don't know where that
Along
would be
the way.
other than if they're both butchers.
Well, okay, yeah. So they got reacquainted.
And
it off?
so they decided to move to LaPorte, Indiana, and they move onto a farm and began raising and butchering pigs.
Okay.
So
This seems like the life for her. This is what she needs.
yeah, it's a good farmhand land. You know, it's
Yeah.
a good farming land, and they're working with hogs.
And they both enjoy the work.
exactly, and
that's-
they have a direct business for themselves as well. It's great.
All right, cool. Keep it there.
So, neighbors described the 200-pound Gunness as a, quote, rugged woman.
Another
all-
person saying she's just rugged.
I think I said this already, but I'm going to include it again because
Okay.
it's really funny. The rugged woman who helped her move in later claimed he saw her lift a 300-pound piano by herself.
Still impressive.
Still impressive.
Still crazy.
Yep. About 2 weeks after the wedding, the youngest daughter mysteriously died.
Oh. Are there any... Oh, never mind.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, are there any clues as to what happened?
Nobody knows the cause.
Okay.
It was during a time that Peter had been at work and Belle had been alone with the girl.
This is not working out for you, Belle.
Now, Peter knew he needed to protect his remaining family. At this point, 4 daughters and Belle.
Yeah.
And as talented a butcher as he was not so naive to think he was safe from harm.
Huh?
He worked with sharp blades and ran giant hogs all day, every day.
Yeah,
So
hogs are fucking huge.
Oh my God, I know. So he took out a life insurance policy just in case something happened. After all, people had freak accidents and homes caught fire all the time.
Oof.
At least they did around Belle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know in Belle's life.
Well, wouldn't you know it, sometime in December 1902, just about 8 months after their arrival in LaPorte, something did happen.
What'd she do?
It was a tragic freak accident.
Another freak accident.
A meat grinder fell on Peter's head.
Oh my God, girl, did you drop a meat grinder on his head?
No. He'd been bending over to pick up his shoe, and the whole thing just came off the shelf right down on top of him. It killed him instantly.
Yeah, this man was very safety conscious, and a meat grinder doesn't just fall.
Belle called the authorities to take him away, and when the coroner saw the body, he muttered, quote, "This is a case of murder," end quote.
Wow, way to just say it out loud.
Yep. His skull had been caved in.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The locals who knew Peter were mortified.
Oh,
He was that talented and experienced butcher, and a little conk on the head from a meat grinder from like 2 feet above him was not something that was going to bash in his head and take him down.
All right. Well, hold on a minute.
Jenny Olsen, one of their daughters, told her classmates, quote, "My mama killed my papa.
Whoa!
Whoa! She hit him with a meat cleaver and he died. Don't tell a soul."
Oh my God! How old was she?
I don't know. In her teens, I think, at this point.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a little girl.
Like, I mean, probably like 9 to 11, something around there.
Like tween age.
Maybe. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Still, girl. I mean, good on you for snitching. But also, like...
Remember
why are
that
you
you
telling
said
the
that.
police this?
The coroner convened a meeting. Everyone was in agreement that this was murder. Cut and dry. It's fucking murder, right? So they brought Belle in for questioning. But she was so convincing, they let her go, and they never filed charges.
Man, some people really can get away with shit just because they're charming.
For real.
And that pisses me off so much. Can't even get above $23 an hour over here.
Fucking crazy.
You're getting away with murder.
The insurance payout for Peter's death was $3,000, or what would be about $81,000 in today's money.
Shit.
Belle was also pregnant.
Oh.
She could have mentioned this to the investigators, but she just kept it quiet. She didn't tell anyone.
Well, I mean, why would she have to mention that she's pregnant? I guess.
It would have gotten her like away from questioning sooner. Be like, why would I kill him? I'm carrying his baby. Like,
yeah,
that would not be good for me. I need a husband to take care of my
odd,
children.
But okay. I mean, I can see it.
Belle sent Jenny away to Chicago on a train.
She just sent Jenny away?
To go live with family for a bit.
Okay.
Right?
I guess, yeah, like your dad just died.
The next year, Peter's remaining daughter was picked up by her uncle to go live with him, and she was more than happy to go.
Yeah, she don't want to stick around because she saw her mama. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I love that.
I don't know why that was the only thing I could say.
It's like a little fruit ninja.
It's just, Oh, fun fact. Dave & Buster's has a big, like, huge size
Fruit
ninja thing.
That sounds really fun.
I think we gotta do a Dave & Buster's day because I have a little card and we can get prizes.
Gary's been wanting to go.
Oh, perfect.
Belle had her son Philip in 1903 and continued to work on the farm with the hogs and her now 3 children's.
Okay.
Myrtle A, Lucy B,
That's right.
and Philip.
The core 3 of the band.
So people started eventually to ask questions about the whereabouts and welfare of Jenny Olsen, who no one had heard or seen of since... Why did I say that?
No, I'm just thinking, used to have a daughter, right?
No one had seen or heard of since the train to Chicago. When asked, Belle told people, "Oh, well, she went off to college in Los Angeles."
Upstate. She went to the farm upstate.
People didn't really pry
over
further.
A rainbow bridge.
And at this point, it really just seems like a common thing. Like, you just you
send your children
business.
places.
Yeah, people say shit. You believe them. You go on with your life.
You used to be able to send your children in the mail.
Oh, yeah. That was... I told you that.
Yeah, I also found out from a meme and then some other thing. But I think you told me that, too, on an episode where it's just like, yeah, you could just, like, UPS label. Bye.
Yep.
I'll see you in 6 months.
I think it was, like, 1911 or 1918 or something. That
yeah,
it was...
not too far after this.
So around 1905, Belle realized she needed a man to continue to provide for herself and her children.
Another one.
And she didn't really have time to do all that dating around. So she decided to expedite the process.
It's speed dating?
She set herself up a turn-of-the-century Tinder profile.
Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, a want ad?
Yes!
Oh, my God! Single white female seeking... next victim.
No, one in the Laporte news probably wasn't going to get her a man who could provide, given it was a small town. So she decided to put an ad out in Norwegian newspapers in Chicago.
Okay.
They were like weekly newspapers, and they were in the Norwegian language, which cut down the number of applicable men significantly, but it also guaranteed they'd be looking for marriage and to stay here in the U.S.
Got you.
Would you like to read the want ad?
Yeah, I do. Personal. comely widow who owns a large farm in one of the finest districts in LaPorte County, Indiana, desires to make the acquaintance of a gentleman equally well provided with view of joining fortunes. No replies by letter considered unless sender is willing to follow answer with personal visit. Triflers need not apply. I like the triflers need not. Well, it reminds me of like No Scrubs.
Yep.
Didn't they say trifling?
I don't want no scrubs.
Yeah, I don't want no scrubs. Hollering at me from the side of his best friend's ride. Passenger side of his best friend's ride.
So I guess the passenger side of your best friend's carriage.
Passenger side of your best friend's reindeer. Just saying.
From Norway, I get it.
Yeah,
no, it's great.
I tried. Because that's the only other thing I can remember about Norway.
And the fjords.
I guess so. Glaciers.
Boy, did the applications come in. It must have been something...
Like, wait. She got a lot of replies?
Oh, yeah. She got tons of replies.
Well, I guess, yeah, she's got her own farm.
Yeah.
I mean, girls got equity.
It was something about the idea of, like, bagging this rich widow. She has a farm. She has money.
Okay.
She's looking to combine fortunes. That means, like, all right, we can have a good life, right?
Man, I don't have these chips. I can't play these cards.
Quote, like many psychopaths, she was very shrewd in identifying potential victims.
Yeah, she knows who she's looking for.
These were lonely Norwegian bachelors, many completely cut off from their families. Belle beguiled them with promises of down-home Norwegian cooking and painted a very seductive portrait of the kind of life they'd enjoy.
Oof. It's like a reverse honeypot. Is it a reverse honeypot or is it just a straight up?
I think it's a honeypot.
It's like a financial honeypot. It's kind of like, you can't pass this up. It's like saying, I come with retirement benefits.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So the hog farm was located off of McClure Road.
McClure, okay.
Belle needed help on the farm, so she hired a few young men to help her around, with the hogs and shit.
Yeah, as you do.
And then the gentlemen, the gentleman callers.
The suitors.
The gentleman suitors started showing up. She got piles of letters, and she was able to be fairly selective in answering the marriage proposals.
Oh my God.
But she would go back and forth and writing these letters back and forth.
Yeah, you got to weed it out, make sure like they're qualified.
It's like when you're on Tinder, you got to have a few chats before you are open to like having a nice date, Yeah, you got to have a little bit of correspondence before you come for a visit at my farm and meet my kids.
Yeah, which, like, damn, these poor kids are just like, mom's newest prospect have showed up.
She selected a man named Henry Gerholt, who was a farmhand over Wisconsin way.
All right, over Wisconsin way. Coming around the mountain, here he comes. He'll be coming around the mountain, here he comes. Here he comes. All right.
She wrote to Henry to come down and visit her, and when he arrived, he wrote to his family.
I made it.
Yep.
She's really rich.
He was in high spirits. He was getting on just splendidly with the farm. Everyone was really nice. She'd made him a really nice dinner on his first day here, right? He asked for some seed potatoes.
Okay.
Do you know what seed potatoes are?
My guess is it's potatoes that are sprouting and they got the little eyes and then you cut the little bits and then yeah.
I don't know why I didn't know that.
I only knew that a couple years ago.
It's usually, I guess back then it was from last year's harvest. Like they hang out long enough to let the tubers grow. Yeah. And then you cut them up and
I've done that by accident a few times.
Totally, me too.
It's in my pantry. I'm like, oh God. I should have planted them.
Yeah. And they can grow in like kind of rough soil. Like this would be your little area would probably be good to like you just pile.
Yeah, I've seen where you can just get a big IKEA packs.
Yeah,
and you just like you can do it in there. And you just like cut out a little window for it.
That's what I'm gonna try to do with my weed plants this summer.
Ooh.
So he sent for seed potatoes, and they sent them on. They're like, yeah, cool,
okay,
go for it. So Belle, when she received these seed potatoes and when she received the savings from Henry, saw no use for him anymore and she killed him.
Oh, God.
It's at this point I'm just going to give up on all pretext that this bitch was in any way innocent of her numerous incidents that have happened around her.
Okay, so
Belle murdered the man, plain and simple.
Do we know how?
So I think for him she used strychnine.
Oh,
but usually it was by blunt force trauma or strychnine. Sometimes she would chloroform them in their sleep. God.
My goodness, bitch.
She dismembered him, and then she buried the pieces of his body out on her farm.
Why?
A few weeks later, Henry's...
Just fire him.
It was not a farmhand. It was a suitor. It was someone who was trying to marry her. So she got all of his money, and then she was like, I'm good.
Oh, I see. So she is truly a black widow.
She didn't even marry him. She was just suiting him. She was just looking
How
at
did she
him.
get
He came to visit
He
her.
literally just had all his money on him?
Basically, the whole... So their correspondence basically was like... The one ad happened. Men would write into her and say, like, hey, I am interested in companionship and running a farm and blah, blah, blah. Here's what I have to offer.
Okay.
And basically she would say like, oh, that's funny that you say that because that's just as much as I need to pay off the mortgage to my farm. And so they'd be like, well, golly gee. And so they'll get whatever money they have. And then they're like, well, just in case I stay, I'm going to go and grab all my money and take it out like in a check or get cash or whatever. I'll take it with me so that if we do get married, I can just give it to her and then we can combine fortunes right then.
I'm sorry, that's so dumb.
But it happened.
Oh, these poor guys.
So a few weeks later, Henry's family wrote again to the Gunness farm.
Hey, where is he?
Yeah. How's married life treating you?
How is my son?
How's work? Why haven't we heard from you since those potatoes?
Since the potatoes.
How's that giant wife of yours?
that big rugged woman.
The really big one. Belle, not wanting to invite more questions, just sent a letter back.
Of course.
And she said he'd gone off with horse traders in Chicago.
Oh.
I don't even know where to start with that.
I mean, like, he got a random offer to just go with horse traders?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Belle's personal ad never stopped publishing.
Oh.
A short while later...
Keep the channel open.
Literally. Because a short while later, John Moe showed up.
John Moe.
John Moe from Minnesota.
Mr. Moe.
They'd been writing for a few months, and John really felt a connection to this woman.
Oh, no, John, I'm so sorry.
He was ready for a marriage commitment.
Yeah,
and
you're committing all right.
When he came down from Minnesota, he withdrew a large amount of cash, probably his life savings.
I bet it is.
It was about $1,000. He told his neighbors when he left it was to pay off the mortgage on Belle's farm.
Oh, they're just love-struck men just throwing money at this woman.
They're lonely and they want a wife.
Oh,
Belle and John were
I feel real bad for them.
Yep. It's bad.
Oh no. They just wanted love and she wanted their life savings.
Belle and John were seen together in LaPorte, and she introduced John as her cousin.
I wonder how John felt about that in the moment.
Probably not great.
I bet. Cousin or companion?
A week after he showed up, he disappeared.
Of course he did.
Into pieces.
Into pieces.
Into the ground on Belle's farm.
Cut my life into pieces.
This is my last resort.
Yeah.
George Barry showed up with a trunk of his things, $1,500, and a dream of a large Norwegian farm wife.
Oh, well.
He was going to take it slow, though. He showed up saying he just wanted to work on the farm for a while before he married Belle.
Smart. What's this man's name?
George Barry.
Go George Barry.
He was never seen again after his initial arrival.
Oh, fuck. I was really rooting that this would work. I just want one of them to get her. Trick her. Be smarter than her.
George Anderson was interested in this Gunness lady from LaPorte, and he figured, hey, I got enough money to pay off the mortgage on that farm of hers.
Oh, I bet you do.
Maybe she'll marry me.
You'll have just enough to pay off that mortgage, I bet.
Just enough.
Just enough.
So he shows up, heart in hand, trunk in tow, ready to make a new life with this woman.
Put your heart back, put your heart back, put your heart back.
As she's walking him through the house, she doesn't let him in the basement because that's her personal private space. Not even the children are allowed there,
that's
or they get the beatings.
Butcher in space.
There was a random room that had a bunch of trunks that had little initials on them.
Oh no! It's all of their money.
pay attention to the trunks in that room.
Don't breathe. Don't breathe in this room.
So Belle set George up in the guest room.
Oh, no. News. I'm scared.
Elsewhere in Laporte.
Okay, elsewhere in Laporte.
The locals were noticing that a bunch of these strange men were showing up to Laporte, and what was even weirder was that they were hanging out with Belle, of all people.
Oh, the town's really not... Yeah, they're still skeeved out by her.
She really is a funny girl, that Belle.
Funny is a weird way of putting it. Are you good?
Yeah. And instead of the gruff, rough farm girl most people saw her as, Belle would take carriage rides with these strange men through the town, and she was dressed to the nines.
Oh.
This was like classy Belle.
She had Hermes.
Kinda. It also really didn't make any sense. They were like, this is like farm girl. Well, what the hell is she?
Yeah,
What?
she's just out there working on the farm. What is she doing with, Gucci?
Yep. George was sleeping in the guest room one night when he was awoken by a weird feeling.
Uh-oh, is it chloroform? Is that the feeling?
When he opened his eyes, Belle was standing over him, candle in hand, just staring at him.
Ew. That's actually worse. Her staring woke him up. She wasn't touching him. She wasn't like putting chloroform over his face.
She was like...
She's just straight up staring. Okay. Ew, I hate that. I hate that. I hate it. Creepy.
Creepy
Don't
staring.
like it. Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
Quote.
And she's 200 pounds. She's big.
What?
She's just tall and muscular and
apparently
big.
she had really tiny feet. Like, really weirdly small feet.
That is such a
What
strange,
Yeah.
side thing to note.
Yeah, apparently they were just dainty. Quote, he later stated that the expression on her face was so sinister and murderous that he
Ew.
let out a loud yell, and she immediately ran from the room without uttering a single word.
Oh, that makes it even worse that she just runs away.
Feeling terrified and uncomfortable,
Get the fuck out.
Anderson believed Gunness intended to murder him.
Yeah.
He quickly jumped out of bed and threw on his clothes. Without saying goodbye, he fled the house and ran away, getting on the first train headed to Missouri. He never returned for his belongings, nor did he ever speak to Gunness again.
Dude, that's how she could keep all their money. You don't have to kill them. Just scare the fuck out of them.
Well, she couldn't exactly sell, the stuff either.
Well, I guess that's true, but, you get to keep it.
He just took the fuck off.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's just it's a weird thing where I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, watch a lot of documentaries and all. It's just one of those genres I'm really into.
Right.
I'm a typical millennial woman.
Yeah.
And
So I'm sure you've heard about this bitch before.
No, it's just that particular thing where they start by just staring at people and standing over them. And there's a lot of cases where
God, I know.
there's people who start off as peeping Toms, then they creep in, and it's like an escalation thing. So with each person,
Original Night Stalker, Golden
exactly,
State Killer.
Yeah, Night Stalker. But there's even just small teenage boys who are starting to do all of these things, and that's part of the escalation. So it's just
Super
very,
creepy.
very in tune with the fact that all these men go missing, and she's straight up just starting off staring at them like this in their sleep. I think she likes that they're helpless under her.
A little
Like
bit.
that.
She's
Maybe.
very strong.
Yeah.
And then there's the chores of the farmhands. We can't forget about the farmhands.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. She terrifies most of them.
Obviously.
They're so scared of her. And they'd be asked to do things like dig holes. Like big holes.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Keep digging.
Yeah. Well, that's too damn bad. The holes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just it was a meme for a while. I'm
Yep.
tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
That's such a good movie.
She just had them digging holes. Digging up them holes. Digging.
Yep.
Digging up the... I fucking love that movie. Yeah. Okay.
I had such a crush on Shia LaBeouf.
Dude, I had a crush on the blonde kid. I forget the kid's name.
I had a crush on Dulé Hill.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that was like, I could fix that for you.
Oh my God, me too, Sam.
I think his name is
Oh,
Dulé.
I don't know his name, but I'm glad you know his name because I should have looked that up. He is by far the dreamiest man in cinema history to me.
I know, right?
Helped her build
Yeah,
a
Dulé
school.
Hill. Okay,
He
I'm so
helped her
glad I didn't
build
get
a
that right.
school. Oh, and then they shot him in the middle of the fucking lake.
Anyway, She terrifies the farmhands.
Yes.
They are asked to dig big holes in various spots on the large hog farm.
She's trying to look for that treasure.
This in and of itself isn't that uncommon. On a hog farm, you do get pigs that die. They can't be sold to market for whatever reason, and sometimes you just have to bury pigs.
Right.
happens.
Disease, you can't sell
Or
it.
there's rubbish that you've got to get rid of, and the easiest way is to just bury it, because then it turns into compost, you know?
Yeah.
Quote, meanwhile, neighbors noticed that Gunness had begun to spend an unusual amount of time at her hog pen at night.
Oh, no.
She also seemed to spend a lot of money on wooden trunks, which witnesses said she could lift like, quote, a box of marshmallows, quote. Meanwhile, men showed up one by one at her door and then kept vanishing without a trace.
God, she's so sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, how often, I mean, can you get away with this? At some point, she's got to know she looks suspicious. Yeah.
At any given time, no one was really sure if she had a gentleman staying over, as they apparently stayed in her room and were very carefully monitored by Belle.
Okay.
She always introduced the newcomers, whom the locals said showed up every week or so, as her various quote-unquote cousins.
She's got a big-ass family.
A huge family of cousins.
Of all men.
And she made sure to keep them at a fair distance emotionally from her children.
Okay.
Her employees knew what was happening,
God,
at least
poor
to
kids.
some extent.
Just the poor kids.
I know, right?
What happened to Uncle Paul? What happened to Uncle Peter? What happened to Cousin Mike?
He left.
What happened?
He went home.
They
but
all
his trunk's
leave.
still here.
Well, they wanted us to have it. But
his pocket watch and his shoes are still here.
They must have had so many questions.
Yeah. There was one farmhand in particular who was smitten as hell with Belle.
That's a brave farmhand.
A young man named Ray Lamphere.
Okay.
They've been fucking.
Oh, shit.
And he really loved what they had going on.
Okay.
He was all about that Norwegian American pussy.
Okay.
And for a while, he knew there were men coming and going. You know, none of those people were serious. They came, she killed him, they buried him. It was a thing. It was
Right.
fine.
To her-
He was the one that got to spend time with her.
So she might have really liked him.
He really got to know her.
That's
you know?
dangerous,
like,
girl.
They had a connection.
Okay.
When her suitors came calling, it was like clockwork. Belle would cook them a large meal. Mm-hmm. She would welcome them in, get them nice and toasted up, put something in their coffee, and then done. Conk out like a light from a meat grinder. Or
from a meat grinder, she's going that way again?
Yeah. I mean, some of them.
Some of the classics just never die.
Yeah. That was one of her things.
Uh-oh.
Ole Budsberg showed up in the spring of 1907.
Ole Budsberg. Interesting name.
When he got to the LaPorte Bank in April, he mortgaged his home back in Wisconsin, and as a result, was able to take out several $1,000s in cash.
Uh-oh. Is he flashing that cash?
He hadn't told anyone that he was coming.
Okay.
He just went and traded his Wisconsin home for some Norwegian wife pussy.
Okay. Well, some people really hate the word pussy. We might have to start bleeping it out if we say it so much.
Are you getting uncomfortable?
Not terribly, but I just know some people really like the word moist. They hate it.
Okay.
You say wop, though.
That's
that
somehow
sweet
better.
Norwegian wop.
That sweet Norwegian wop does not sound better, but okay,
I think it
I'll
does.
work on it.
Because it's not, I don't know, we'll try it.
So a few weeks later, Ole's kids started to wonder just where he'd gone off to. And it didn't take them long to put the pieces together that he'd popped off to LaPorte.
He just popped right off.
Popped right off. They wrote to Belle and asked about Ole, and she said she'd never met the man.
I know the face cream, but there's a man named Ole?
They moved on with their lives.
Whoa. They just said, oh, well.
They were like, all right, cool.
No more questions? No more looking around for him?
No.
Oh, that
They just moved
sucks.
on. Sometimes people just left.
Oh.
Meantime, Ray is starting to catch feelings, like in a big way.
Oh, shit, Ray.
The stupid men who answered the want ads, they weren't really in love with her, and she didn't love them.
Clearly.
But Belle kept Ray around. Ray is who she really cares about.
Okay.
Ray is her guy.
Ray Ray's the guy.
But the want ads were still out, and Belle was diligent about her correspondence with her numerous suitors.
Yeah, this is a job for her now.
At other instances with these men, Belle would wait until they were sleeping already, come into their rooms by candlelight, and chloroform them.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's exactly what she was going to do to that man.
She was going to do to that man,
She was so going to do that.
Once dead, Belle dragged the bodies to her basement.
Oh, I was about to say, damn, that's gotta suck. But no, she's muscular. She can lift pianos.
Yep, pretty much. And we'll get to that next week in part 2.
So that is the end of part 1. And then we will be picking right back up to find out what Bella does next week.
Yes. What other atrocities, or maybe she redeems herself. Maybe she gets better. Maybe she turns a corner.
We know that's not happening. Let's be
you
realistic.
You are a hopeful person like 99% of the time.
Not when it comes to serial killers.
How can you possibly think that this is going to not get better?
No, when it comes to crime and murder, I do not have an optimism hat.
You got it. You got to look on the bright side.
It's 2024. No. No, I'm staring darkness right in the face.
Is it your old friend?
My old friend?
Hello, darkness.
Oh, no. No, it's seasons don't fear the reaper.
Like that.
They fear the seasons. Da, da, da. More cowbell.
She's dancing like cross-legged, but the whole top of her body.
I'm like a wacky waving inflatable arm man.
Looks like an inflatable arm guy. It's really cute.
All right, well, that's enough.
Is that how we dance? I love it.
That's how I dance on the couch.
Oh, I like it. All right. Well, we will get back to you next week when we come back with Belle Guinness Part 2. Part 2 of this murderous bitch.
I'm stretching.
And until then, this has been
a fucking podcast.
Bye.